Skull.
Skull.
You will know me as Skull the Norn.
Welcome back, travelers, to another Top 5, or Viking Top 5s, actually, that's what it's called. Viking Top 5. So in this episode, we're going to be talking about our Top 5 video games. So I am joined here with Andrew Val Kaskus.
And I am here with the Master of Disaster, the Man of the Hour, Ken.
That's right, that's me. So we actually got a request from one of our viewers. I don't remember who it was, but I'll definitely pop it up. He did want to see one of the top 5 video games, so we're going to be starting it off today with our top 5 video games. Obviously, this is our opinion, so if you guys have your own opinion, let us know in the comments down below.
You ask, we listen. Topping off our list at number 5 is Loki, Heroes of Mythology. Now, this is a game that was produced maybe in the late 90s, early 2000s. Think of it as a Diablo clone with just like a super rich mythology layer of narrative and theme. And you get to play as like an Egyptian hero, a Greek hero, a Scandinavian hero, and some other one.
So it's not just Loki. You're not just playing as Loki.
No, Loki's kind of the arch nemesis on all the story arcs. So he basically twists with everything. So the game, fair warning if you try to pick this up, it's got bugs. You can get through them though. And it makes for an amazing, amazing Diablo clone. I think the project was a little bit rushed, unfortunately.
Number 4 game on our list is Skyrim. It is probably the most popular one on our list, although it's not at a higher ranking just because I feel like there's better games on top. So obviously, if you guys don't know about Skyrim, it's a pretty much open world. It's a pretty big world where you're I guess a dragon. Not really a dragon, right? More or less.
You're hunting dragons. You're learning the power words.
Yes. I forgot, what are you? What are you really? What's the term that you are in the game? You're not just a regular human, right?
I don't
There was a
remember.
name. I don't
It's
remember
been a
the name.
while.
It's been a while, but yeah, you're basically hunting dragons. You are in a Norse style kind of theme, so that's really, really cool. You also have the rune that you're learning to learn these cool abilities like Fus Roda. You know, it's one of those abilities that you just shout. Although I'm not sure how accurate that is. It's pretty neat that there's also dragons in the game, which is really nice. You go around, you go through the adventure, you learn all these abilities, and you're getting almost like, it's like runes are essentially making you stronger in the game, which is very similar to the Norse mythology if they're really, 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 really big on runes. So
absolutely.
Really good game.
Yeah, great number 4. Number 3 is Northgard. So this is a relatively new game that came out on Steam. I picked it up. Something Norse themed, kind of harkens back to an RTS style, like StarCraft, but it has a lot of flavor. It's not generic fantasy. It has things like heroism. It has a lot of expansion. There's a storyline that goes to it. You're dealing with commerce and trading with other clans, and you can play different types of clans. Really worth checking out. I think they've got like an expansion or 2 already out on Steam, so definitely take a look at that one.
It's pretty popular as a game. I heard a lot of good reviews about it. My friends play it all the time. Any type of strategy game is always very interesting, especially when you consider like, Viking games got to be all like badass and just all fighting. There's a little strategy going on, so it's really good. That's a really good number 3.
So what do we have at number 2?
Number 2, we got Banner Saga, which is another strategy game, which is really, really good. The cool thing about it is it's also a storytelling strategy game. So another really unique style. It's art. You can see right off the bat as you open the game, the artwork is actually
gorgeous.
Stunning. Animation is really, really nice as well. And it is a strategy game. You're also moving around characters. It's a turn-based strategy game. You're moving around, you're trying to hit. But the best part about the game is the storytelling. Each decision you make affects the game, just like any other story game. And since it is in the Norse mythology, there's not really any good way, good storyline. Not good storyline, I mean good like
it's not like a simple win, good choice, bad choice.
It's not a win-win
Every
situation.
single choice gets you something, but at a cost.
Exactly, because it is in Fimbulwinter, you have low resource, you gotta manage that, but most likely than not, you are gonna be losing some kind of resource to gain another resource. So that's the cool thing about this, a lot of decision making in this game, so that's why it's one of the most unique games out there, and that's why it's our number 2.
Exactly, and I haven't played part 2 and part 3. It's a 3-part game. I played the first one. As soon as I found out it was a cliffhanger onto episode 2, as in like next game, I said I'm going to wait until the 3rd one comes out so I can just blow through them.
Yeah, and it came out not that long ago, so definitely.
So now during the holidays, I'm going through the whole trilogy. All right.
And what is our number 1 game on the list?
Number 1, super close to my heart, Crusader Kings, and the expansion that specifically mentions the old gods. So the Old Gods expansion brings you into the lineages of kings and queens of that period. You play over dozens, if not hundreds of years of a lineage. So you have like, you know, a king and a queen, you have children, you marry off your children to different houses, you go on raids. But as the technology starts going up on all the countries around you, you have to up your technology as well and change your strategy in the whole game. Be warned though, it's not for the meek. It is one of those games you're going to spend almost as much time on YouTube trying to figure out how to play the game, but it's actually a testament to how good the game is that people are going to go to that huge trouble to just try and learn and grok a very unintuitive initial interface. And that is easily our number one.
It sounds like a super fun game, almost similar to Civilization, where you have to actually gain technology and advance it. And if you don't compete with your opponent, you're going to fall behind. So in that sense, it's very similar. That's a really cool style where you actually have to upgrade. So I like that a lot about a game. Now we're going to mention our honorable mentions because there is a lot of good games in the list. And these games we actually didn't get to play as much. Well, I got to play one of them a little more than he did. So I'm going to mention my honorable mention, which is God of War. God of War, the latest God of War, which I don't remember. I think it was God of War... Was it Ragnarok? I don't think it was Ragnarok. I forgot the name of the God of War specifically, but the latest one, it was dealt with Norse god. The antagonist of it was Baldur, so it was very unique. You got to see a lot of the other gods in there. You got to see a lot of, like, Freya was in there. You got to see the Aesir gods, so that's really good. Thor was in there.
Yeah, actually, when you were telling me about it, I thought it was like a breath of fresh air to have Baldur as the villain.
Yeah.
But then they took a couple liberties, right? With Freya being his mother?
That's going to be, yeah, and it's going to be another video. Obviously, we're going to talk about any type of misconception.
I definitely want to play this. I heard a lot of good things.
It's a very good game, especially if you're a fan of God of War's style of fighting. And also, it did win Game of the Year.
Okay.
In case you didn't know.
But I'm not. I'm not a fan of God of War because I hate platformers.
Dang.
There's like Uncharted, I think, is the only one that I will actually go through because the dialogue in that is the best of any platformer.
It did win Game of the Year, so it probably would be higher up on the list if we tried the game out, but we actually didn't play as much because he was worried that it was more of a mainstream game and he was afraid that it wouldn't fall towards our standards. But definitely he's going to try it out. I've watched it. I really enjoyed the game. I've played it a lot. So what's your honorable mention?
Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. So this is in the series from the Hellblade line of games. And again, this is not a game I've played, but I've spoken to people at conventions and some friends of mine that have downloaded it. It's on my wish list on Steam. It is something that I think I'll probably pick up over the holidays. It's a game that actually did apparently a lot of research and follows a heroine who is trying to overcome, I think, hell and her plot. So I'm not sure. I can't speak too much to the game, but I've heard so many good things about the game that it's on my list to play for sure. Like a lot of people were surprised when they go like, "Wait a minute, you didn't play the last God of War, you didn't play Senua's Sacrifice."
Games, yeah.
Yeah. So like those two, definitely honor to playlist.
So you're gonna be playing a lot of games during the Christmas break.
Hell yeah!
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. So that will be it for today. If you guys did enjoy the video, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Keep you guys posted about all that fun stuff.
And check out our Patreon because you're going to get this as a sneak peek.
All right.
Skål.
Safe travels.
Safe travels.